Hey everyone! Today is standing splits. So whereas the rest of the classes we've been really focusing on strength, our anterior core strength, and that rippling through our entire cylindrical core, this class is going to be focusing a lot on opening our hamstrings. For standing splits, you're having that core stability is very helpful, but it's all about flexibility. So we'll be opening up our hamstrings and working into our standing splits. And if you've been dying to try out a handstand, we'll also have an opportunity to do that too. So to begin to open up the hamstrings, we're going to start with half splits. So come to either the middle or the back of your mat in hero's pose. And then we're going to come up, bring our hips up, and shoot your right foot out. Now it's very important that we keep our hips stacked over our knees the whole time, not dropping our butt back as we drop our chest forward, but really maintaining our hips over our knees, or our knee, and then keeping our hips parallel with the front of the mat. So we're going to engage the lower core, knit our bottom three ribs in, and then start to reach our chest forward. Right foot is flexed, and then come to your edge where you start to feel the stretch in your hamstring, and maybe your hamstring behind the knee. My hamstrings are really tight, so this is about as far as I can go, which is totally fine. We want to focus more on equalizing our core, stabilizing us, not dumping forward, and getting that stretch. If you have a block, sorry I didn't say that at the beginning, but you can use a block for stability, and then we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Inhaling chest forward to reach our spine long and straight, and then exhaling, bringing our chest maybe 1 millimeter closer to our thighs. So inhale for 4, exhale, inhale for 3, check in with your hips. Are they parallel still? Maybe you need to pull that left hip forward. Inhale for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, reach the chest forward. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. And then inhale, come back up to center, step your left foot back, move your block, and then we'll shoot our left leg forward for the other side. So again, keeping our hips stacked over our standing knee, you know what I mean, and keeping our hips parallel with the front of our mat. So left foot is flexed. We're going to engage the lower belly. You can bring your hand below your belly button to check in there. Reach the chest forward, but knit the ribs in so they're not flaring out. And then reach your chest forward, maintaining as flat a back as possible as you come forward until you feel the stretch in your hamstring. We're not straining our hamstring. This is our first hamstring stretch, maybe even of the day. So really pay attention to what your body is feeling. And we'll hold here for 5 breaths. So inhaling, straightening the spine, and exhaling, releasing a little bit more into the stretch. Maybe rolling that left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale for 4. Exhale. Inhale for 3. Exhale. Inhale for 2, lengthen the spine, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper into the stretch, maintaining flat back. Last inhale here. And exhale, sink into the stretch. Inhale, come back up to center. We're going to bring our left foot back, and we'll repeat something similar with half splits, but then we'll actually be transitioning our weight into one foot at a time and extending up into standing splits. So getting a little bit of movement in to really activate that active stretch that we're going for and warm up the muscles. All right. So again, we're going to bring our right foot forward, foot is flexed. Keep our hips stacked on over our knee, our bent knee. Engage the belly, reach the chest forward. Hold here, inhale. And exhale, bend your front knee, bring your hands to the mat, shift your weight into your right foot and come up into standing splits. Just for a moment, and then we're gonna slowly replace our shin on the mat and come back to our half splits. All right, we're gonna do that 2 more times, a lot going on here. So check your posture in your half splits, pull the belly in, reach the chest forward, inhale here. And exhale, start to bend the front knee, hands come to the mat, left toes curl under and shift forward into standing splits. Hold here, roll your left hip down, and then exhale slowly as you can, place your shin back on the mat, come back to half splits. Right foot is flexed, hips are over our knee. And one more time, we're gonna inhale, engage the lower belly, chest lifts up and reaches forward. Exhale, bend the right knee, left toes curl under, shift into the left foot, and standing splits right leg. Slowly come back down. Come back to half splits. Bring your right leg back and we'll repeat on the left side. So left foot steps forward, shoots forward. Left foot is flexed. Hips are squared with the front of our mat. And we're going to engage the lower belly, chest lifts up, start to reach forward. Exhale, bend the left knee, hands come to the mat, shift your weight into your left foot, and reach your right foot to the ceiling or the sky. Slowly with control, bring your shin, right shin back to the mat, left leg straightens, and we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, engage the lower belly, pull it in, chest lifts up, and we are going to reach our chest forward. Exhaling, bending the left knee, curling the right toes under, shifting our weight into our left foot, and reaching our right toes to the ceiling. Exhale with control, bring your right shin back to the mat, straighten the left leg. Left foot flexes. Inhale, draw the belly in, belly button reaches towards the spine, chest lifts, and exhale, bend the left knee, curl the right toes under, and shift forward into standing splits. Exhale, bring your right shin back to the mat, come back into half splits, and then bring your left knee back to meet the right. Go ahead and come to hero's pose. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth, sigh it out. So now that we're nice and warmed up, we're actually going to move into standing splits with the option to bind one arm. So if you go for the bind, this will really challenge your balance and your flexibility. This allows you to use some leverage with your hand bound behind either one of your heels, and again, use that as leverage to kick up a little bit further. So to move into our standing splits, we're going to start from Tadasana. Feet are hip width distance apart, legs are engaged. You should be familiar with this pose by now. Glutes are engaged, lower belly is pulling in. We're knitting the bottom 3 ribs together. Chest is slightly lifting, and our arms are down by our side. And we're going to inhale, sweep our arms forward and up. Reach your fingertips up to the sky, and exhale, fold, maybe bend the knees a little bit. Bring your head, the crown of your head, all the way down towards your mat. From here, we're going to place our hands on the mat, fingertips, knuckles, heels of the hand, all press into the mat, and then we're going to shift our weight into our left foot, bringing our right foot up and back. Now your standing leg can stay bent, keeping your belly on your quad, or you can begin to straighten that leg to help keep your balance steady. You can bring your hands wide, maybe even wider than your mat. To challenge your balance and come into the bind, keep your arms, your hands wide, and then bring your left hand, your left arm to the inside of your left leg, and then pretend you're going to grab your left heel with your left hand, but actually just place your fingertips behind the heel. And then come into the bind, checking to make sure that your right hip isn't rolling open. You might need to roll it down, squeezing your inner thighs together. And hold here, breathing for 2. And 1, crown of the head reaches towards the mat. And exhale, step your left leg, your right leg to meet your left. Bend the knees, bring your belly to your thighs, and slowly roll each vertebrae on top of the other, coming all the way up to standing. Again, if you don't want to work the bind, just stay in standing splits and work your flexibility. And we'll repeat on the other side. So from Tadasana, feet are hip width distance, legs engaged, core is engaged, tailbone is slightly tucked. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, reach the fingertips up, and exhale, dive down. Crown of the head reaches towards the mat. Bring your hands to the mat, pressing equally throughout the fingertips and the heels of the hand. Shift your weight into the right foot, left leg sweeps up and back, making sure that we're not rolling the left hip open. Roll that hip down towards your mat. Squeeze the inner thighs together, and then bring your arms wide. And if you want to take the arm balance or the bind, if you did that on the other side, then again bring your entire right arm to the inside of your right leg, reach your fingertips behind your heel, and come into the bind. Inhaling, holding here for 2 more breaths. Exhaling, sinking our chest a little bit closer to our legs. 1 last inhale. And exhale, bring your left leg to meet your right. Bend at the knees. And slowly curl each vertebrae up, coming to standing. All right, now again, you can keep working your standing splits, but otherwise we're gonna come into some handstand hops and maybe even into a full handstand if that's in your practice. So again, from Tadasana, we're gonna reach our arms forward and up. Exhale, come down. Hands come to the mat. We'll shift our weight into our left foot first. Right leg sweeps up and back. Check in with your hips. Are they squared with the front of the mat? And then start to round the back. Press your hands into the mat. Maybe come up onto your toes and handstand hops. Give me 3 handstand hops, or if you're staying in standing splits, go ahead and take 3 breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling, sinking your torso towards your thighs. Inhaling for 2. Last 1. Exhale, bring your right foot to meet your left, bend at the knees, and slowly curl all the way up. And last exercise, we're just repeating on the other side. From Tadasana, feet are hip width distance apart. Reach your arms forward and up. Exhale, down. Hands come to the mat. Shift your weight into your right foot, left leg sweeps back. Press fingertips, knuckles, heels of the hand into the mat. Start to straighten the arms and round the spine. Maybe coming onto your right finger, your right toes, and taking some handstand hops. So either 3 handstand hops or 3 nice deep breaths. Inhaling to lengthen, shoot energy out the left toes, and exhaling, releasing into the stretch. Wherever you're at, 2 more breaths. In, out. Last breath in. And exhale, bring your left foot to meet your right. Bend the knees slightly and curl each vertebrae, one on top of the other. Great job, everybody. I hope your hamstrings are feeling nice and open, and you feel a little bit better working on your standing splits. Diesel's excited. This is your last class, and if you're doing this for the first time through the first week, then next week I hope you really notice the improvement, especially now that we know what we're doing, and really focus on sticking and holding your balance postures. So thank you, and I hope you had a good time.